Hi everybody, so I've got a bit of an offer for you. I'm getting to the tail end, or hopefully I'm getting to the tail end of my bowel cancer chapter in my life. I've obviously still got some major milestones to work through, so I've got my kind of scans and camera in the stoma hole and some blood tests and stuff in November, which, assuming are all good and show that I've got a super healthy bowel with no invaders, I'll hit my hopefully dates for my stoma reversal at the beginning of next year. And that's going to be a biggie because it's going to be another major operation, more time for me to have to detox all the drugs out my body again, and going back to my old poo process, and dealing with everything that comes with that, because I don't know how that goes for somebody who's had a reversal before. So there's some major milestones I do want to still cover off with you, but it's kind of going to be quiet, or I'm hoping it'll be quiet between now and both of those later this year. But I've really enjoyed doing the videos. It's been great to be able to share and connect with family and friends and colleagues who I've lost touch with on a regular basis, and complete strangers all over the world who I've got value from the videos, and it's helped them deal with either their own bowel cancer or somebody that they know, because I've been open and honest and shared some of my journey as I've gone through it. So I still would love to be able to continue to connect and add value where I can. But, I'm getting to the tail end of this chapter. It's going to be quiet through till the milestones. So I've been having a think about what I wanted to share with yous, and, keep it succinct, and where I can add value for you in your life. So I've been having a think the last week or so, and I've got some ideas that I'm going to share with you in the future. But one of the ones that I wanted to talk about was, because of my sporting background, and because it's spanned across two sports, two completely different sports with completely different success levels, UK sport funding or lottery funding, and they're set up very differently. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about, that's come from one of those worlds, which I've done in the past with companies, I use in my personal life, and it came from sport, was this thing called marginal gains. And so it was kind of popularised by British cycling, and it's appeared in various books like Black Box Thinking, I think by Matthew Said, and it pops up every now and again, usually when the Olympics is on, and British cycling have humped everyone in the cycling events. There's always questions around why are they so consistently successful, and have been since their transformation started in the mid-90s. From 2008 onwards, they've consistently been a top performer in the track program specifically, but they also had more success, especially in Tokyo Olympics, in some of the mountain biking and the BMX world. And up until this year, their kind of road results have been really strong as well. So, they use marginal gains, and it's something that is kind of part of their culture. So I wanted to share with you my take on it, and then what I was potentially going to do for you at the end of the video. So what is marginal gains? It's basically, from an athlete perspective, taking a look at all the things that impact an athlete's performance and chunking it down and trying to improve each of those pieces. And it's kind of fractal, so you can look at it from a high level point of view, or you can zoom right in on the detail of something that's tiny and very specific. But if you make a small improvement there, and then you've made another improvement here, when you compound them all up together, you usually have a significant and or exponential jump in performance, especially if you start doing things that are going to help, or stop doing things that were hindering you previously. So to give you some examples, when I rode at Delhi Commonwealth Games back in 2010, it was my first major event. I wanted to perform as best as I could for myself, for my club, and for Team Scotland. And I was very conscious that we were going to be moving from Scottish weather, which is quite cool. The games were in October, and we were going to be moving to Delhi, where the temperatures were significantly different at that time of year, 30 degrees plus, and that's just the general living conditions. And we were not 100% sure on how things like the air conditioning and things were going to be reliable, because there was chat about stuff happening with the buildings. The athlete village and the flats and things that were being built weren't being finished to the level that we're used to in the UK. So one of my marginal gains tactics was I took special sheets to sleep in when I was in Delhi, because rest and recovery, especially when you got high emotions and you're nervous, is really important. And I was worried about my sleep being impacted when I was out there because of the heat. So I took out my own bed, and you get your own special bed, and in the Commonwealth Games you get to take it home with you once you've finished. It's like one of the perks. But I took my own special sheets, my own pillow, that were all designed to help people who have to sleep in hot countries or hot climates, and it helps keep them cool. So, and I had no sleep issues when I was out in Delhi compared to some of my teammates across Team Scotland and some of the other teams that weren't used to that heat. So that had a massive impact on my preparation and being able to medal at that Commonwealth Games for Team Scotland. What else? There might be some supplements. There's very specific supplements that I take and have done for a long time. But when I started my bowel cancer chapter, Ian Bell, my detox guy, he had me take some very specific supplements that help my body grab hold of any toxins and remove it from my body. It helps my body do that. So, right through post-surgery and then through chemo, I upped the amount of these supplements to support my body being able to get rid of all those chemotherapy toxins. And then, when it comes time to anaesthetic and everything next year, I'll need to do another marginal gain with my supplements. And then, so that's like two tiny things that impacted my performance. It could be the equipment that you use. It could be the drink that you have in the morning. It could be the last thing you do at night, actually, that you think about. There's loads and loads of people out there that talk about one of the most effective habits they have in life is gratitude. And it's easy to say, oh, I do that, but do you do it every day? I try and have, I've got a little note the first hour of the morning and last thing at night. I always try and think or talk with Stacey about one thing that I'm grateful for and what was the best bit of our day. And in the morning it sets me up for success, and at night it puts me in a good frame of mind before I close my eyes and drift off into a blissful sleep. So it could be anything to impact your performance as a person. I use that word only because I'm an ex-athlete, so it's commonly used. And that's, you know, although I don't compete anymore, I still think of how I am during each day and each week and each month. That's how my performance is as a person, holistically, rather than an athlete. So that's marginal gains, is about all of these little things that when you compound them together, give you better results. And I've just drip fed, I don't know, 5 or 6 to you in the course of a 10-minute video, and we haven't been talking about marginal gains for the whole thing. So what I thought we'd do is, obviously marginal gains, the clues in the titles, usually sometimes it's the small things, but compounded through time can end up being a big thing. But if you stacked all the marginal gains that I've done as an athlete, or that British Cycling's done, there will be some of those gains that will have given significant gains, much bigger than they probably expected. And there'll be some of those gains that will be much smaller, and it might only be 1% of 1%. But when you've done 100 of those, it adds up to 1% gain. And that could be the difference between Olympic gold and not even qualifying when it comes to an athlete's performance in times or scores. And then, you know, there might be some that you've tried that actually were a load of crap, never worked, and you just need to ditch them, which is fine too. So I thought I would share some of my marginal gains with you, maybe just do one a week, just to spread them out. And I'll kind of sprinkle them in with some of the ones that have given me the biggest gains, and some of the ones that are small and really easy. And I might share some of the ones that I thought were going to be worth it and actually bombed completely, just to give you a laugh. Because I'm kind like that, and I like to make you smile too. So that's my offer for you, a weekly marginal gains video, just to share some of the things that I've picked up over my sporting careers and my professional working career, and you know, through all the different chapters that I've had in my life, including the bowel cancer stuff, you know, with help from Ian and my surgeons. There's lots of other things that I've learned and been able to pick up, which is definitely my intention to keep in the future, which will help enhance my health and fitness, both physically and mentally, and help me be even better in the future. So that's my offer for you. What I'll do is, in the video, I'm not going to put bowel cancer. I'll still put the number, as in the episode number. Where there's a bowel cancer update, I'll put bowel cancer in the title, and where it's something else, I'll just put the title, and hopefully if you're interested, it'll pull you in, and you'll learn whatever goodies I've got for you that week. So that's me done. Hope you have a great day, and I'll catch up with you on the next video, where I will share my first public marginal gain with you. See you next time.